thanks for joining me, Kate. Kate Pass, who's a great bass player, composer, and all-around nice person. And also, organises lots of events and tours and recordings. And so thanks for agreeing to this.
Thanks. Thanks, mate.
Yeah. So the first question is, why do you have music in your life?
I think for me, music's always been like a way to express myself. I'm not great at talking about things, and music's always been a way to kind of communicate with other people. In a way that is a bit more, I don't know, bit more natural or something. I've always also enjoyed like the challenge that playing music brings, and I feel like you can never get bored because there's always something to work on and something that you're like bumping up against that's a challenge that you can try to work through. And I've I think like over playing music for so many years, from a child to an adult, and always finding something that's challenging and enjoying that process of trying to work through it. And then the curiosity, I think, that comes with that. Kind of being curious about why things are hard or how things work musically, and trying to work through that's been something that's always kept me interested. Yeah.
Did you sort of know when you were young about the sort of expressing yourself through music? Did you sort of realise at a younger age, or is that something that's sort of you've realised that as you've been sort of making music?
I think it'd probably be something that I would have realised later, but I think like I always enjoyed listening to music, probably for the same reason of like, like I guess like as a vehicle to like feel things or something that you might not otherwise, I don't know, feel in your everyday life, but music kind of is a gateway to feeling that. I guess like I've always enjoyed that, and that's something that I've always enjoyed listening to music, and then I guess captured through playing as well. So I don't know, I think that's maybe something that I've realized later on in life instead of early on.
So because I think everyone sort of communicates and expresses themselves through music in different ways. How do you express yourself musically?
Well, I think part of it is like, it's almost like through the physical aspect of playing an instrument in some ways. There's something cathartic or a release about that. And also I think being a bass player, unless I'm currently like at the moment stuck at home and playing a lot on my own, almost always I'm playing with other people, or there's always this thought when I'm practicing on my own that the things that I'm practicing, I'm doing it to be able to play with other people. So there's all that social, music's always been like a very social thing. And so it's also about communicating with the people that you're playing with and expressing something about your personality and the way that you've approached things, or having that kind of conversation in a musical way, and being able to, and I also enjoy like being able to kind of, when I'm playing with other people, like picking up little bits of their personality and things about them that I might not get from talking to them, but by playing music with them, you can kind of have an idea of who they are. And I've found it also really interesting, like by playing music, I feel like I've played with such a broad range of different people of different ages, and might have different views and ideas and backgrounds and stuff. And I might, if it wasn't for music, I might not have ever gotten to know that person, or had anything to do with them, but music has a way of like really bringing lots of different people together and finding a common way for you to kind of communicate and understand each other that goes beyond talking. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Well, we'll get on to the second question, which is how do you make music?
I feel like this is something that's like is different at different times and has changed a lot over the years and that sort of thing. I'd say like most of the time, like it's very practical. Like I would make music by playing music on an instrument and recording it, or and just playing it, kind of playing ideas or playing around with ideas over a long period of time before kind of sitting down and writing anything out. And to kind of going off, I guess, sound and physically how something feels to play, and maybe trying and also playing things on different instruments or writing things on different instruments at different times to kind of get a different perspective. Lately, like when I think like early on, I almost always started writing from the bass and then kind of from bass, coming up with bass lines or riffs and building songs around that, which I think has a certain style. But certainly in the last few years, I've been more focused on melody and writing more from the perspective of melody, and kind of focusing on that and then building the composition around that instead of from the bass perspective, which has been really interesting for me as a bass player, to kind of almost force myself into thinking that way more instead of always being in the realm of the bass and rhythm sort of thing. So lately that's more been my approach.
Do you think I guess with the Cohesia ensemble and the cultural aspect and the melody maybe being more of the focus, is that, do you think that's guided it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So because absolutely, because the music is so melody centric sort of thing, and everything in the song, all the instruments are really there to serve the melody and to, as opposed to as opposed to maybe in jazz or other styles coming up with a harmonic progression and then creating a melody off that. It's really about the melody. So, and that's that has been why I've kind of turned to that, writing from that perspective a bit more.
Do you has that sort of informed other sort of styles of music that you're writing, or is this sort of the main stuff you're writing for at the moment is Cohesia, or are you writing for other projects or ensembles?
I feel like basically everything I write at the moment has been, I guess, with the Cohesia ensemble in mind. Unless like I'm writing things as a exercise or something like that. But I kind of tend to, it's very much like, I guess, the focus of my, kind of writing and playing.
Well, I mean, it's really great to have an ensemble and a sound and a project to be working on. So that's awesome. And
I find it's like, because I've been, I guess, like so immersed in it, and have been kind of for a few years, and I've kind of like really enjoyed that immersion in something kind of creatively. I mean, because I guess like outside of this ensemble, I play in a lot of different styles, but in terms of actually creating, I kind of like things. So kind of immersed and focused on one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, the third question, which is what excites you musically right now?
Yeah, this is interesting. For the people watching this later, this at the moment is we're all in lockdown because of
Yeah.
COVID-19. So it's actually really been very interesting musically. Yeah, because I was thinking like when this first started, so having all my gigs cancelled and not being able to like, kind of rehearse with people, it was really scary because I thought that the reason why I played music and the thing that I loved about music was performing and playing with other people, which is something that I do love. But this experience has really taught me that about all the other things that I like about music, and then really rediscovering them and those things that are exciting. For me as well at this time, it's been really good, like rediscovering some instruments that I've maybe played as a child or, you know, dabbled in a little bit. But then you're now kind of having lots of time to just kind of explore on that instrument for a little while, instead of just, you know, practicing bass and then seeing kind of what comes up and what transfers. So that's been quite enjoyable and interesting.
So what instruments?
Well, very basic piano, which, you know, I, you know, started on, but basically haven't really played for years. So that's been, yeah, very good. Trombone.
Yeah.
And setar, which, yeah, I've been kind of learning for a while, but yeah, it's nice having that time to kind of, yeah. And also I found it's quite fun at the moment. Like I feel like before, like a lot of my practice time was devoted to learning repertoire for gigs or like working on things for gigs. And now it's been kind of good to be able to restructure my practice and stuff to work on things that I want to work on or feel like I need to work on, and now I've got the time to do that, without having to be like, okay, no, I've got to learn these tunes by this date or whatever. So I've been really enjoying that, having that process, like kind of feeling like a student. And yeah, really, I don't know, that's quite fun and exciting. Yeah, kind of think about all the things that, you know, previously you think, oh, if I only had more time, I would work on that. And it's like, well,
well,
I do.
now's the time. Yeah, I know. It's been sort of like a reset button.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well, I can now do those things, or, you know, get to those things that have been at the bottom of or you always push to the bottom of the list, and finally get onto those things. So yeah. Awesome. Well,
also, I was just going to say, it's also been like really exciting to see what other musicians are doing at the moment, and it's been really inspiring to see, like ways that people are, you know, adapting and surviving and putting their music out there and really kind of embracing the times and, you know, doing as much as they can. Like, I found that pretty inspiring. And it's also been really great getting to watch lots of people's videos and
have time to sort of sit there and commit a decent amount of time to listening or watching something rather than like being in the background or like, oh, I'm going to get around to that one day.
Yeah, getting the record collection and CDs and it's been quite nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time, Kate. It's nice to see you and to talk, and thanks for answering the questions.
No, thanks for having me. It's great to see you.
Yeah.